What's up everyone, it's your boy Jermaine back with another video. So in this video I want to talk about Uber. I want to talk about how Uber has changed my life and talk about like the past, and then we can talk about the present. And right now I'm in San Francisco where Uber was started actually, and I'm here on top of Twin Peaks. I've never been down this bike trail, so I'm gonna go down this bike trail and tell you guys this story, and let's just see where this trail takes us. I have no idea where we're gonna go, but let's go. All right, so Uber, let's talk about Uber now. So I don't know if you guys know, you know, as of now, like I'm still on the Uber app, and I like Uber. It's a pretty cool app. But let's just fast forward. Let's go back in time a little bit. So when I first moved to San Francisco, I was living in Santa Barbara, and I was working for this taxi company for a couple years, and the money was really, really good, but I hated driving. So when I moved to San Francisco about 7 years ago, I wanted to have a job where like I didn't drive, or at least I didn't drive like people around. All right, so I found a valet job, because those jobs, like, you know, are very flexible. They pay good tips and stuff like that, easy to get hired and things like that. So I started doing those jobs, and like after I worked for like a couple of different companies, I realized that these apps, I mean these jobs kind of suck, you know. And Uber was like just taking off at that time. I remember when I had first tried, I think it was Lyft for the first time. And I remember it was like a cool experience, you know. The first time I saw a Lyft car, it was people on the street, and I don't know which way this is gonna go. Maybe it's gonna go this way. Yeah, it was people on the street, and no, it was people on the street waiting, and they got in this car and they had a pink mustache on, and I was like, what is that? Like, those people look to be really, really happy. Like, you know, what's going on here? And then I found out about this whole rideshare deal, right? And I was doing valet at the time, and I remember one night I was working valet at the shift. I have no idea where we're gonna go, but we're just gonna randomly keep going down. We'll eventually go downhill. We'll eventually find somewhere. So, you know, I was working this valet shift, and I remember one night it was slow. And a lot of these valet companies I was working for, honestly, the tips sucked. When I lived down in Santa Barbara, I worked for a couple different valet companies, and I worked for a couple of different valet companies down south in Santa Barbara, and the valet companies were, the pay was okay, but the tips were like amazing. Wow, I've never been so close to Sutro Tower. This is Sutro Tower, by the way. And I was just so amazed, like how how good the money was there in Santa Barbara. So I thought once I get to San Francisco, it must be the same, right? You know, once I get to San Francisco, like I'm probably gonna make even more money because it's a big city. It was actually the opposite. I made way less. And one night I was working at this restaurant, and this sidecar driver pulled up. No, this Uber driver pulled up, right? And I saw it on the phone. It said $25. He was dropping these people off. Well, I remember he came back. The sidecar driver came back. It was like, what, maybe less than 5 minutes later, the sidecar driver came back, right? And he dropped people off. And I remember looking at the phone because I, you know, went to the door to open the door for people. Wow, what is this? Wow, this is for real. This is crazy. All right, let's keep going down. Now, I don't know where we're going. So I remember looking at the phone the second time, and it was like, I can't remember if it was $20 or $25, but whatever it was, he had just came back in like less than 10 minutes. And I was just calculating in my head, like, wait, how much do they make per hour? You know, like, you know, I was just doing it in my head, and then I was thinking, yo, I think I'm gonna have to, like, you know, probably buy like a used car and start doing rideshare, because you know, this valet, it's all right, but it kind of sucks. Like, the pay is okay, but I feel like, you know, I could do better doing valet. And also I don't have to stand outside in the freezing cold, because when you're a valet, you have to stand outside and it's freaking always cold in the wintertime in San Francisco. Well, not cold in the wintertime, but cold in the summertime with the wind, you know? And then one valet company I worked for, we didn't really wear coats. So you basically had to wear these like really, really thin, like white jackets, you know? It was always freezing outside. And of course you could wear like a long sleeve shirt underneath, but it wasn't the same as wearing a coat, you know? So, you know, I ended up getting some used Toyota, start doing sidecar. The first day I did sidecar, right? Sidecar is just like Uber. You know, an app where you can pick people up, make money. First day I did sidecar, I was blown away how much money I was making. But let's also keep in mind that the city was in a different state. Like, it was busy, like it was popping, like it was people everywhere. You know, it was a lot of VC money being spent throughout the city. The city was shining, you know. Today, the city's kind of dead, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, like there's still a lot going on. Like there's a whole lot more that things could change. But for right now, it's nothing like it was, you know, in those good Uber days. And then, you know, as I was doing sidecar, I did sidecar for a little bit, and then I merged over to Lyft, did Lyft for a little bit, and then I merged over to Uber third. And then once I started doing Uber, it was just like Uber and Lyft, and I just kind of abandoned sidecar. And then one day, sidecar like disappeared. And then one thing about Uber really like set me up, because once I started doing Uber, I started doing YouTube, right? And once I started doing YouTube, that was like a complete game changer, because wow, this intersection is crazy. Yeah, once I started doing Uber, it was a complete game changer, because it's like now I can, you know, now I can do YouTube. And then once I started doing YouTube, I just kind of stopped doing Uber as much. And then I was, you know, just doing like YouTube a lot. YouTube allowed me to travel around the world. You know, when I was back living in San Francisco, I was still making money with YouTube, but then I was also, you know, still making money like with apps and stuff. So YouTube allowed me to, you know, invest in stuff like Tesla and different stocks and make a lot of money off of that. So basically, Uber has been like a lifesaver for me. You know, it's been a freaking awesome, a little awesome app to work for. You know, especially, you know, in your side time, in your free time. And I remember back in the day, this is just kind of insane when we sit around and we think about how much money Uber drivers used to make. And I'm not talking about just Uber drivers, but like just people, delivery people and stuff. Man, people were making hundreds of dollars a day. And nowadays, I don't know what has changed. You know, there's a lot of theories. Some people say, oh, it's just the economy. I don't think it's just the economy. You know, some people say, oh, it's just a bunch of people working. I don't know, maybe it has something to do with that. But a lot has changed. Just like back in the day, I remember it was pretty easy to make like $2,000 a week. I remember, this was insane, but I remember a couple years ago, I was doing Uber, and it was a Tuesday. Bro, I was clearing like $400 in a car on Tuesday. And it was kind of insane, because Tuesday, like, it wasn't that much traffic, and this was like in January, February. And it wasn't that much traffic because, once again, it's January, February, so like the city's not really busy because, you know, the days are shorter and stuff like that. But I just remember how easy it was, and it was like 10 hours of work and you make like $400, you know? And don't get me wrong, you would probably use quite a bit of gas, but I think gas was maybe like $3.50, $4 a gallon. So they wasn't really killing you too much on the gas like they are today. I think gas is like, I think today it's like $6.50 or something. $6, $5, $6. Depends on where you go, because I was over in Oakland last week and we got some gas for like $5. But over here in SF, I saw gas for like $6.50, $6. Anywhere from $6 to $6.50. That's kind of a big difference if you're getting like, you know, 20 gallons. That is a difference. That's almost the difference of, you know, the toll and all that, you know. Okay, so now it looks like we're just going downhill. So people always ask me like, what's up with the apps? Like, what's going on with the apps? Because I'm gonna keep it real. Honestly, I thought the apps were gonna take over. I thought all jobs were gonna be apps, you know? That's really what I thought. But now it looks like apps are crashing, you know? So I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I got no idea. Like, I don't work for Uber, you know? You know, they're trying to make a profit, so they're gonna do what they gotta do. But I really like this app, you know? I really like it. Like, it's totally like it's totally changed my life, you know? It totally gave me like different things to do. Because if I never would have like, you know, did Uber when I came to San Francisco, if I would have just worked like, you know, some BS job, you know, oh crap, I'm like falling. If I would have just worked some BS job, you know, and just stay there and like, you know, kiss the boss's butt the whole time, you know, what would I would have got in 6 years of moving to San Francisco? I would have been probably working at some job. Maybe I'd be some manager making what, $30 an hour, you know, but instead I, you know, had a job and I like quit that job and I just said I'm gonna do the apps and do Uber, and it's like greatly changed my life. Like, I got to go to so many countries, dude. I got to go to like 50 countries, like, since I moved to San Francisco. Like, you know, like I think of my life before I was living in San Francisco versus like now, you know, and then the you know, like how the apps like just really changed everything in my life. You know, I'm just really thankful for them. Like, I'm really thankful. Like, if you're some Uber employee and you're just watching this video, yo, you guys did some awesome stuff back in the day. Like, you guys are still doing awesome stuff. Sorry, I just went through that stop sign, but I don't have the app on, so it's cool. But yeah, you guys do some awesome stuff, dude. I really like the apps. And I just really hope it keeps working out, because I don't like a job, you know, a job where you have, you know, a boss and all that. Like, I don't like that. Like, a lot of people don't like that. You know, a lot of people like to, you know, wake up and just wear whatever they want to wear and just work when they want to work. And usually it's kind of crazy. Like, a lot of people I know that work apps, they work basically the same hours that people work. Like, I know a lot of people that start working apps and they work from like 8 to 6. And that's like very similar to someone working a job. You know, someone may, you know, maybe their boss tell them, hey, you be here from 8 to 6, you know? But like, I know a lot of app people, they do like the same thing, you know? So, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. My like front brake's like squeaking like crazy. I think I need to like adjust it a little bit. But we've been going downhill like this whole video, you know? It hasn't been any uphill, you know? It's just been, I haven't used the throttle like pretty much none this whole video. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, so yeah, the future, I guess we'll have to see how the whole economy goes. But if anyone just want to know, like, I've been hearing, this is just what I've been hearing. I don't know if it's still true, but I've been hearing that New York is still busy. Oh, I just used the throttle that time. I heard New York is still busy. You know, I still hear delivery people, you know, making like $300, $400 a day. I definitely don't hear about people making that much around here anymore. You know, maybe like 1 day, 2 days out of the month, you might make like $350, you know, on a bicycle. But I don't know, that's like pretty rare. I just don't hear people talking like that anymore, you know. When I was making Uber videos, a lot of times in the videos, I was not transparent. Like, people would always ask me, like, how much do you make? And I actually never really said how much. And the reason why I never said how much is because delivery people on the street would be like, yo, don't be saying that in the video, you know? So that's why I didn't say anything. But nowadays, it seems like it's kind of crashed, you know? It's like, I know people, they'll stay out all day, including myself. You'll leave the app on all day and you may maybe make like $100, you know? You start working at like 7 in the morning, and yeah, you work at 7 in the morning, and you know, by like 12 o'clock, you're at like $50, you know? Which I remember back in the day, if you start working at 7, by 12 o'clock, you'd be at like 200, you know, 300, no, 200, 250, depends on like how much you work, you know. And once again, a lot of times with the apps, it's very random. Like if you just get this one job, like you're gonna get a fatter tip than if you got that other job, you know. And you know, some days you get lucky, you get those really fat tips, you know, that it's very rare. But the more you work, the more you get them, you know. But yeah, nowadays, you know, sometimes it's like 5 o'clock and I'm at like $90, you know. And that's, you know, just on like Uber. Now I don't have DoorDash because I don't know, for some reason DoorDash, they deactivated me because I made YouTube videos talking about DoorDash, talking about, yo, you should sign up for, you should sign up for DoorDash and make money with DoorDash. And use my link and sign up for DoorDash, right? So I was making YouTube videos like that. And DoorDash didn't like that, so they deactivated me, yo. So I want to apologize to DoorDash because, you know, if you let me back on the platform, I promise I won't ever say your name in a video, you know? Yeah, but yeah, the apps, I don't know. Guess we're now at Dolores Park. Yeah, I don't know. Making money with the apps. Sometimes you can just leave the apps on. I remember back in the day, man, you would be busy like constantly, like non-stop, like 24/7. Like 24/7. Like as soon as you go to the next place, the next drop-off, you've already accepted an order before you even get to the drop-off, you know? So you're just constantly going, you're constantly in the active hours. And nowadays, oh my gosh, it's changed so much. Sometimes I'll leave the app on. Like a lot of times at night, I'll leave the app on and I'll completely forget about it. And 2 hours will go by. And don't get me wrong, I have my Bluetooth headset in, so if it goes off, it's gonna, you know, come in my headset. But 2 hours will go by, and guess what? Nothing. And then I'll look and say, oh crap, I had the app on all the time. You know, and so what? Like it's not busy, you know, no big deal. But anyway, you know, I just want to say, you know, I guess I'm gonna go back down actually. Yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up. Like I said, I don't want to make this a depressing video because once again, I'm very thankful for Uber. Like it's been a freaking awesome, you know, awesome app. And I know a lot of people who have made a lot of money like with this app. I know people that have moved here from other countries that have worked here and they've been able to like buy a house back home and stuff like that. Like people have insane stories what these apps have done. They've, you know, definitely provided a lot of jobs for a lot of people, and don't know if they're gonna, you know, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna be around too much longer, especially if they want to make everyone employees. Because honestly, I don't want to be an employee. I love being an independent contractor. Being an employee, if you ask me, it kind of sucks, yeah. Like, I don't want to be an employee. Like I like to be freelance. You know, I don't care about all those benefits. Then fuck those benefits. Those benefits suck. Those benefits are only to like, you know, I don't know, really don't care about them. Yeah, some of them are really nice. They're like if you work for a tech company, they're nice, you know. But yeah, I don't know, just regular benefits, you know, like stuff like health insurance and all that. I'd rather be an independent contract than I just pick my own health insurance, you know. That's cool with me. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. And peace out, yo. Ow! Now we all the way in the Mission District from the top of Twin Peaks. Bye-bye.